In the next 5 years, we are going to see a new dynamic in wealth manipulation. First of all, you know, there was a time in the world where there was no millionaire. Everybody was a thousandaire. There was no millionaire.
Yeah.
The order is that nations become millionaire nations, then companies become millionaire companies, and then individuals become millionaire individuals. Then after a while, nations became billionaire nations, and then companies become billionaire companies, and then individuals became billionaires. As we speak today, we already have trillionaire nations, right? We already have trillionaire companies. What do you think is next? Trillionaire individuals. And there are about 5 people now that are jogging very fast into that status in the next 5 years. So what that means is that, you see the way we see millionaires now, pack it on one side, then think of the way we see thousandaires now. In the next 5 years, top 10, the way we see thousandaires now is the way we are going to see millionaires. Now, the way we see billionaires now is how we are going to be seeing millionaires.
It'll be surplus.
It'll be surplus. Then the way we see billionaires now, red, is the way we are going to see trillionaires. If everybody is wise, wisdom will be common with that right.
Feedback from the future.
So before we dive in, PK, when you say the new 1%, you know, I hear you say that a lot. When you say the new 1%, what exactly does that mean?
Yes.
Who are these people, and how do they think differently, essentially?
Yes. So that's a very powerful question, because we are in a strategic time in how we really define everyday experiences of contemporary life as we go forward, right? And part of what is clear is that we are in an interregnum. We are in what is called an interregnum, and people need to understand that. You know, when a king is dead and a new king is supposed to be installed, but for some reason you don't have a king yet, and it's going 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and the office of the king is overdue for royalty, but we've not installed a king yet. That period is an interregnum, right? It's an interregnum. So it's a time that is change is overdue, but power is not in play.
Absolutely.
And there is an installation that is necessary for newness to be established, right?
Yeah.
We are in that place now. You know, where when the world was moving from color TV, from black and white TV to color TV, from typewriter to computer, that period, you know, when computer was coming, people were still importing typewriters. People were still setting up secretarial schools. In other words, people were investing in expired business models, right? But because it was still profitable in the time, people overindulged in the success of the prevailing idea, forgetting that all powers come with inherent feeding potential, right? And so we are there again. We are in that moment, and the 1% that has given culture its character in the last 100 years is expiring. Think about it. If you add 30 years to the age of anybody breathing right now, anyone breathing, just 30 years, even if you are 1, you'll be 31. So everybody is a full-blown adult in 30 years, or they are so full-blown, they are at the departure lounge of life, ready to go. So you have, if you are 10, you'll be 40. If you are 20, you'll be 50. Right? If you are 30, you'll be 60. So let's pause there. Because anybody older than that, older than 30, is critically a father. When I say father, I don't mean a biological father, an elder in the system. So if you are 40, you'll be 70.
Absolutely.
If you are 50, you'll be 80. If you are 60, you'll be 90. How many 90-year-olds do we know? If you are 70, with due respect, you'll be gone. So the idea is that in 30 years, the whole world completely will be in a different operating system. And it's not just happening in one geography, it's global. In 30 years, think about it. In fact, 30 years is too much. In the next 10 years, 15 max, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Tinubu, Atiku. Think of some of the, and I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Even these people know that where they are now is legacy sensitive. And everything they are doing is about what their name and their decency and integrity will mean when they are gone. Because they know that organically, there will be a sting of death for everybody within an age range within the next 10 to 15 years. Right? So a new 1% actually is a necessity. It's a prophetic necessity on the human condition. It's not a wish. It's not a desire to have a new 1%. It is that whether we like it or not, a new 1% is rising. Don't forget that 1% represents the most successful, most powerful people in the world because they control 60 to 80% of the wealth and the influence in the world.
Yeah.
Right. So when you speak about the 1%, you are talking about a new group, but it's a new breed without greed. Driven with a different ideology to confront what we used to and contend with what we used to call the reputation capital of the prevailing 1%. So it's a new 1% with a different character.
Awesome. So I'm going to come right in there. So you say they will have a different ideology, meaning that they are operating with a new cadre of thinking. Their process is radically different. Now, I've also heard you say power supersedes wealth.
Yes.
Now, I mean, that definitely hit me deeply. So can you explain to us, can you let us in on how power and money actually interact? Also, when you talk about this new ideology, what is it about? How can people begin to think to be a part of this 1%? Is it too late to be a part of this 1%? And what must people begin to do today, from today, people on this call, to position themselves for that transition?
First of all, this is the recruiting season. Between now and 2030, the new 1% is being recruited globally. And so the portal is open now. There's an open portal, and people need to position for that portal. I say to people, the days of hustling are over. You can't hustle your way into this 1%. You position your way for it. And people need to understand that there are about 11 ideologies. We are hosting Galactic Capitalists in London, the revelation of we who own tomorrow.
Yeah.
And there's a lot I'm going to be sharing there. This live we will teach, but there's a limit to what we can create here. I'm going to say, if you are on this call, wherever you are in the UK, even if you are in Nigeria, if you are in Ghana, fly to London and come sit in this room, because we are going to be breaking down the real identity of this 1% and the type of systems and structures that they need to begin to put in place. Let me share something with you, Isaac.
Yeah.
Remember that Elon and Donald Trump went into an exchange a few months ago.
Absolutely.
Right. In that exchange, Elon, don't forget, had played a major role in the elections that brought in Donald Trump. Right. And as a matter of fact, if you take Elon away from that election, we are not sure we will have a Donald Trump victory.
The outcome might be different.
He was a game changer when Elon came in. Maybe Elon forgot his history. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what, maybe it's some form of hubris. I don't know what it is. But a contention began between Elon and Donald and President Trump. And it went public, and they were exchanging words.
Yeah.
And President Trump came out and said a few things, just a few things. And those of us who know understand that that was the end of that war. Yeah. The next statement from Elon was a very humbling one, a collaborative one. Because at the end of the day, I say to people, every time power and money goes to war, How
wow.
Everybody with money is holding it in custody for power when power is ready.
Wow.
You can have a lot of money and have zero power. But you cannot have power and not have money. Because everybody with money is holding the money for you when you have power. Let me give you another example. In 1993, in Nigeria, money and power went to war. Money was represented by a great gentleman that I respect so much called MK Abiola. Power was represented by another gentleman called Babangida. And an election happened. Money won the election. Money won the election. Power came, cancelled the election, arrested money, jailed money, killed money, and nothing happened. And nothing happened. The idea is that, and if you go to the diaspora, you find a lot of people, right, few as they are, convinced about the righteous idea of success and winning. But we are multiplying success, we are not growing power. And you are a guest. You know, Isaac, can I say something to you? You know, there's no such thing as residence of honor. There's nothing like that. It's guest of honor. You see, it's very important. There's no honor for a resident. There's honor for a guest. And when you are a guest, you have to understand the protocol of being a guest. Though you have now attained citizenship or residence in another country, you cannot settle. A part of your protocol must be firing to remind your host that you are a guest here, so that honor can continue to come to you. Because the moment you settle, you become generic and there is no plan for the resident. There is no residence of honor. There's only guests of honor. And so, as a guest, there is a honor that is consistently hovering over your head, and there's a way to position yourself powerfully to be able to sit in that. That transcends the limits of success. Now, even if I choose to visit success itself, let's stay there a little bit. In the next 5 years, we are going to see a new dynamic in wealth manipulation. First of all, you know, there was a time in the world where there was no millionaire. Everybody was a thousandaire. There was no millionaire. The order is that nations become millionaire nations, then companies become millionaire companies, and then individuals become millionaire individuals. Then after a while, nations became billionaire nations, and then companies become billionaire companies, and then individuals became billionaires. As we speak today, we already have trillionaire nations, right? We already have trillionaire companies. What do you think is next? Trillionaire individuals. And there are about 5 people now that are jogging very fast into that status in the next 5 years. So what that means is that, you see the way we see millionaires now, pack it on one side, then think of the way we see thousandaires now. The way we see thousandaires now. In the next 5 years, tops 10, the way we see thousandaires now is the way we are going to see millionaires. Now, the way we see billionaires now, the way we see billionaires now is how we are going to be seeing millionaires.
There'll be surplus.
There'll be surplus. Then the way we see billionaires now, rare, is where we are going to see trillionaires. Yes. So when people say, oh, I'm going to be a billionaire in the next 20 years, I'm saying you are going to be common and generic in 20 years. You are not seeing the future. You should be talking about trillionaire status now. It's a different articulation, right?
Wow.
So let me leave that.
Wow. PK. Man, sir, you just dropped one line that can retire a motivational speaker for a year. Wow. I've never seen it that way, I must say. Wow. I mean, before we move forward, just so that people don't lose out on what is happening in London, right? Can we quickly talk about that? We'll come back to it. But
Great.
Can we share about that? I mean, guys, go to PK Alone right now and go see tickets are selling out fast. Go to pkalone.com. That's PKALONE.com and look for the event happening in London. It's happening on the 31st of this month. Go and register. See, the value you get from this event is worth £1,000, but you are paying a stipend.
You know what I say, Isaac? the value from this event is worth your weight in gold.
Absolutely.
So if you are 80 pounds in your weight,
wow,
80 pounds in gold, that's what the event is worth. I'm going to say, you know, it's got galactic capitalists.
wow.
Normally we run 2 events simultaneously in different cities. This one is the day 2, and you don't want to miss it. October 31st, Galactic Capitalist,
me, guys,
the revelation of we who own tomorrow. Be in the room. Go to PK Alone, click day 2, pkalone.com, click day 2, and gain understanding. The theme is interesting. The Serpentine Mandate. The Serpentine Mandate. How to see it in the culture, providing guidance and inspiration for every power block, including evil. I always say to people, if your wisdom cannot mentor evil, you are not wise yet. You are still green on many levels. You are still in the rookie energy on many levels. If even evil cannot defer to your wisdom, you know, everybody talks about how wolves come in sheep clothing.
Yeah.
You know, but even Jesus said, "Be wise as a serpent."
Yeah.
Do you know the greatest characteristic of a serpent is cunningness? And when Jesus says, "Be wise as a serpent, be gentle as a dove," he's saying, if you are only a dove, your doviness alone cannot help you. You will get yourself treated, used, abused, taken for granted, dumped, killed if not properly guarded. It's saying, what about you being sheep in wolf clothing? What about that? Sheep in wolf clothing. Sheep in wolf clothing. So that when you are with the wolves, it's a different ball game. They are wolves in sheep clothing. What about you being sheep in wolf clothing? That's another level of intelligence. That's the intelligence we are sharing. That's the Serpentine Mandate. And it's divine, it's prophetic, and it's strong and compelling and powerful. And everyone has to learn. The days of being ordinary, weak, in the name of righteousness and godliness are over. It's time to be compelling. I call it being formidable. Being formidable means inspiring fear and respect. Impressively large, intense, capable, powerful. That's who we have to be. And to be that, we need a new type of clarity and intelligence. So that's what we are sharing in London. So we ask everybody to come in. You know, everybody should come in.
Amazing. Before we move forward, guys, I'm going to be there in London. I'm going to be there live. I'm a super busy person, but I'm going to leave everything I'm doing. I'll be there live. So please go get your tickets. Let's meet there before we move forward. Now, PK, so you've spoken about, I mean, this is so liberating. So liberating. You've spoken about the fact that, I mean, it's so clear. While you were sharing about Elon and Donald Trump, you know, I watched a video recently on Instagram. I think it was on Nairametrics. It was OBJ Obasanjo talking about when he was in power, right? And he asked for Dangote to show up in his office immediately, and then Dangote came. In fact, he called him midnight, and said, "Okay, I need to see you in my office at 7 a.m." So Dangote goes, "Mr. President, you just call me at midnight. There's no way I'll be in Abuja. You're in Abuja, I'm in Lagos by 7 a.m. So long story short, he said, "I'll meet you by 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. he was in his office. And then OBJ went, "Why are you importing cement?" And it was like, "Because that's the most cost-effective way for me to be profitable." OBJ went, "Okay, so what can I do to make you produce cement in Nigeria?" And then, of course, he gave him conditions. Now, as rich as Dangote was, he couldn't make happen the production of cement within Nigeria. It was Obasanjo, because he was in power, that had to do that. And Obasanjo made that happen. What we see today now as Dangote was actually simply because Obasanjo granted some approvals, called his minister and said, "Okay, guys, go and ensure that this guy is able to start producing cement in Nigeria." Anyway, that's by the way. So I said that to talk about systems and power, why it is more influential, more critical really than money, right? But talking about system, you say money responds to system, not efforts, right? what does that mean practically, particularly to an average person, the average person on this call listening to us right now? And how can they build that kind of system? Of course, we know that we're going to go in detail in London, but on a basic level, really, what are systems? Why are they different from money? And how can people build them?
So, if you want to eat, if you want to pay your rent, if you want to survive, if that's your top goal, effort will add up. Right? A lot of hard work will be required if that's your goal. And I always tell people, it doesn't take a lot for you to survive. But for you to thrive has to be the end of your hard work. Hard work cannot make you thrive. It doesn't mean you are going to become lazy. Though I don't think there's anything called lazy. I think what they call lazy is a clash of interest, to be honest. But you are going to transcend the limits of exertions as the singular critical success factor for how you roll. You have to come into some higher levels of connections. And these connections transcend the linear, manual way of interpreting, success. What that means is that if you are thinking about words like scale, if you are thinking about words like, global, if you are thinking about, cultural, intelligence, where you have a product that is made in Tokyo and people of diverse cultures across the world are consuming that product. Everybody drives a Toyota, right? Americans drive it, Nigerians drive it, Ghanaians drive it. Everybody drives a Toyota. But Toyota is from Tokyo, right? If you want to begin to think like that, which if you don't, you are going to be in such a small universe, impressing the small people within your space, right? If you are going to think at that level, what you need goes beyond effort. You now need collaboration. See, they say when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. But that is assuming the tough knows the way. Because you can keep going and get lost, right? When the going gets tough, I say that the tough seeks collaboration. And what type of collaboration are we talking about? I'm not just talking about, seeking influencers to talk about your product. All of that is strategy. I'm talking about understanding your path to gatekeepers, your path to city, owners, your path to power blocks and power sellers. The example you gave about Dangote, listen, if he doesn't come correct on that power exchange, it's just going to, he will be another successful guy. You will never know, he won't even feel bad because he wouldn't know what he could have done.
What he could have been,
who he could have been. So he's not even going to cry until maybe he dies and he sees his potential and he says, wow, I could have been the richest man in Africa, right? He probably will never know, right? So there are what I call agenda sensitive positioning. You must have an agenda in the world. People like Elon Musk are no longer entrepreneurs. These are power blocks in themselves. And they transcended the limits of buying and selling a long time ago, right? Because they have an agenda. So people don't know how to define their agenda. Why? What are you doing what you're doing? If what you want to do is to have a few dollars, a few pounds in your bank account, right? This conversation probably is too expansive for you, right?
Absolutely.
But if you believe that inside of you, there is a value trapped in there, and you believe at least 1 million people in the world deserve to connect to that value, then you are the one we are talking about. And so, like I said, there's a lot of production to this. We can't really break it down here, but I would say that what you need, above anything, you need an agenda. You need to be clear what you are doing in the world. I'm clear what I'm doing in the world. I have an agenda. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm not independent. I'm not PDP. I'm not APC. I'm not Labour Party. I'm running my agenda in the world, and I'm recruiting people intentionally into my agenda. And my agenda is ideologically driven, and it's philosophically laced, and it promises freedom and strength and formidability at a level unprecedented. So my encouragement to people is to know that you need clarity. You need to know why you are here and how much of the value in the world belongs to you. You see, once you start thinking like that, I'm not a participant. There is a value running, there's an economy in the world. How much of it is mine? You see, that is how people are thinking at a level. People like Elon and Bill Gates, even Aliko, those guys are not thinking about how to have a private jet, how to wear a Louis Vuitton shoe or drive a Rolls Royce.
Wow.
When you don't understand power, you need things to emphasize your value. Because if they are not there, you are nothing, and So you have to wear it, you have to look it for you to demonstrate your value. But when you understand your power, right? When you understand your power, there is a silence that says a lot. There is a silence that says a lot. There is loud silence. The idea that you are not demonstrating a lot, but you are being heard. You see, you are being heard. And that kind of articulation, goes beyond the necessity of succeeding. And that is why we call them, see, people like Elon, they're not global anymore. I call them galactic. They are galactic because they are not thinking. Elon is trying to get the world to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos is making experiments to Mars.
Yeah.
Richard Branson.
Oh no.
Planet Earth anymore. They are seeing the universe. They are asking about their role in the universe. They are asking about their stake in the universe. These guys are not betting on the United States anymore. They are not just betting on Africa or betting on Asia. They are betting on the entire galaxies. And they are saying, is it even possible to have the first 500,000 citizens in Mars? Yeah. Is it possible? And these guys are launching project upon project. You see, you cannot be in that kind of. People think, you have to be full. You must have a level of wealth for you to be thinking at that level. You see, that is the narrative of the masses. I do subscribe to the Maslow's hierarchy of need, but I don't think that hierarchy is, what's the word? I don't think it's a continuum. You can be in the fall from the very beginning, right? You can be in the fall at the levels in that triangle very beginning, right? And the proof of that is essentially about, what you see, what you hear, what you are interpreting. Those things transcend the limits of what is in your hand. So you don't need to have $1 in your hand for your brain and your spirit to be functioning at such an elastic level that transcends the limits of your physical geography, right? Yeah. That is why somebody can be in London and be right now on the internet chatting with somebody in China. We have arrested matter. The things that have weight and occupy space have been arrested. Technology has arrested it. Yeah. We have arrested space and we have arrested time. So I'm in Lagos right now. I just landed in Lagos yesterday. Really? This morning, sorry. I just landed in Lagos this morning, right? And at 5:35 this morning, I touched down in Lagos. You are in London. We have collapsed time.
Absolutely.
We've collapsed distance. We've collapsed space. We've collapsed matter. And we are connecting. So that, therefore, it used to be true that once you are at the bottom of the triangle, you cannot see beyond the level. But now, it doesn't matter anymore. Technology has given us a borderless posture to be able to articulate and interpret at a level. And these are not small things. And these are not for everybody, right? But I always say to people, if you have any energy in you that is calling for more, then you have to yield to it. because it's beyond you. Something bigger than you, than your known knowledge is calling you. It's not bigger than you, but it's bigger than your known knowledge. It's bigger than because your known knowledge is informed by your history. Your history is not adequate to capture your future. So if something is nudging you for more, then it is the future calling you beyond the limits of your history, right? And those are the type of conversations we want to have in London. And again, I can't help but to keep calling people to think about London, to think about October 31st. It's a Friday evening, and for people to turn out and let's learn.
Personally, I have loads and loads of questions for London. I'll keep a lot of them for London. So guys, the place to get your tickets is pkalone.com. Just go there now. The information is there. Pick your tickets. I'll be there personally, and I have loads of other people who are also vying to be there. So PK, you've worked with many powerful people globally. I mean, you mentioned from the music, to the business sphere, to different, sectors of across different economies, across different geographies, across continents. What's one truth about wealth or influence that still surprises
What? Can you take that again? I was trying to follow you, so
okay.
I was trying to follow you.
I was asking about the fact that you've worked with different people globally. What's one truth about wealth and influence that still surprises you as a person?
Surprised me. Surprise is a word that I'm very guarded with because of the blessing of the work that I do. The element of surprise, I think, has left me. I would say what amuses me.
What
amuses me.
What amuses
you? I will go with what amuses me. One thing that amuses me is how the requirements for the highest level of manifestation always hide in plain sight. Those two words, always hide in plain sight. So much transformative instruments are hiding in plain sight, and it's amusing that people are not plugging into it, right? And that amuses me. Things are being created every day, and people just watch it happen as participants, as opposed to being stakeholders and players in what is happening. The future, for example, has only, I think, 3 people. We have the owners of tomorrow, who are the champions. Then we have the casualties of tomorrow. We have the slaves of tomorrow. And the casualties are the victims. The slaves are the well-dressed commoners in the future. Because in the future, the lines between, in fact, part of my prediction is that there's actually no middle class in the future.
Really?
There's no middle class. The future has the lower class and the upper class.
Wow.
And that will be true in every economy. I'm not talking about Africa. I'm talking about United Kingdom, United States. It's going to be... Have you seen Hunger Games? Have you seen the movie Hunger Games?
Yeah.
The very first installment of Hunger Games. Yeah. You know how you have the capital and you have the colony.
The colony, yeah.
Yeah, and that is the future for you. I call it the Hunger Games society. That is the future, right? And what we are calling 1%, I think is going to increase to about 2% or 3%, maybe. And that's where everybody with value will be. Every other person will be in the colony, so to say.
Wow.
So the intentionality that is required to be able to make the shift. If I speak to immigration alone, just let me pick immigration.
Yeah.
Immigration is a major game changer within the next 10 years. And I tell people, position yourself intelligently now. By this, I'm not necessarily saying become a citizen of another country, a first world country. If you can't do so, I'm not saying relocate from your country. If you can't, I won't stop you. But I'm saying come correct in how you represent yourself, such that it becomes enviable for you to be a guest in any geography in the world, right? So for you to be a welcome guest in any geography in the world, don't plan on being pitied, on being tolerated, on being accommodated. You must be celebrated everywhere you go. And to do that, it's not because people are going to be nice to you. It's because people don't have a choice with you. You are so compelling and formidable that people must engage with you. Nations must engage with you. You know, I was talking to somebody. I'm not asking you to go get a US passport. If you get it, it's not a crime. But I'm not even asking you to do. But do you have a US bank account, though? You know, do you have a US bank business address, though? Do you have a business correspondence point in the United States? Do you have a business point in the United Kingdom? Can you take money from people in the United Kingdom? Can you take money from people anywhere? These are global languages. Currency is not just money anymore, it's a language. Access is not just a door anymore, it's breath. That is how you breathe. You need to be able to make movements across the world, right? You shouldn't be wanting to visit any country and you are being audited. You shouldn't be audited. They should be calling for you. I told somebody who was going on holiday, you are going on holiday to where? To the United States. What are you going to do? He said, well, you know, I'm just going to see my uncles. I said, let me tell you something. Did you hear that the United States just made a rule for Nigerians and say that if you are coming to the US now, you only get single entry visa and you only get it for 90 days. One entry. That means that once you go and you come back, if you're going to go again, you have to get another visa again. I said, why do you think that happened? I said, I'll tell you. Because when the average Nigerian goes to the United States, he doesn't rent a hotel. He stays with his uncle or his brother. 2, he doesn't go out to fine dine. He eats, cooks eforiro and banga and all of that in his house. He doesn't rent a car. He picks his brother's car or his uncle's car or his friend's car. He doesn't go do scuba diving or go jump or go, you know. He just goes to visit his friends, fellow Nigerians, right? He doesn't. So his value economically is so low. Unlike when the Arabian is coming, he rents a yacht, he stays in the hotel, he goes out, he spends money. So is it not wiser for the US government to say, let's collect the money at source, so that before they leave Nigeria, they will have paid us. Whatever it comes to do here and sitting in the south,
you've collected our value already.
You've collected our value already. I said, think about that. If you then expand that, and you say, so what kind of person ought you to be that nations are looking forward to you coming? I said, for example, instead of going on holiday in the United States, why don't you write a letter? Write a letter from your letterhead to senators and say, this is who I am. I'm coming to your country. I would like to have an advocacy visit to your office and learn about what you do. Write to the White House for a tour of the White House. You see, these are game-changing. You just don't go carry your bag, sit down in the country, you know, blow your money for 2 weeks and come back and say you're on holiday. You are wasting time, energy, resource, right? If you're coming to the United Kingdom, can you set up an appointment with the mayors? Can you meet 2-3 mayors? Can you start writing that letter 3 months before and do advocacy visits? Who are you going to visit? Who are you going to talk to? Right? The mayor of the city you are staying in. If you are staying in my city, Plano, in Dallas, why don't you write to meet the mayor or the city council officials, right? Who are the top 3 businessmen in this city? Who are the 5 billionaires in this city? Can I meet them? Is it possible at all? Who are the 3 big media players in this city? You know, the Bible says the plans of fools wear them out. Why? Because they do not know how to enter a city. There is a way to enter a city. There are people you have to know how to manage in the city. The mayors in the city, the government officials in the city, the top accountants. If you know the top 3 accountants in your city, you don't know what you know. You think you just know accountants? The top 3 accountants are keeping the money of the biggest billionaires in the city. If you know the accountant, you know a world. You are not just knowing one person. That's an entire world you are knowing, right? Do you know the police chief? Why don't you write a letter to the police chief and just go say hi and get to meet people? These people want to meet you. I know somebody who has lived in America for 26 years. And I asked him, what is the name of your mayor? He doesn't know. Who is your police chief? He doesn't know. I said, you see, what do you have? A lot of real estate. You are such a powerless quantity, right? Comforting yourself with wealth and thinking it is enough. Dynamics change, rules change. And when rules change, money is always under siege, but power remains. Money is every time rules change, money is under siege. The only constant fiber is power. How do you come politically correct so that you can be economically shielded? You see, these are conversations we can have forever. But these are the kind of ideas that amuse me when I look at people and how they define their manifestation.
PK, thank you so much for this. There's something that has been a huge burden on my heart personally. It's something, it's a mission I'm personally on anyway. I want to speak to it really tonight. And it's the fact that I see, you've just spoken about the fact that people need to expand your horizon beyond your country, especially if you're from Africa, right? But what I also see when people do that is people leave the country, they go to the US, to Canada, to the UK. And these guys, before they travel, they are doing quite well. They are, Nigeria, Africa feels their impact, right? And all of a sudden, they travel, they land in that country, and in most cases, that's the end. They either go into oblivion in terms of you never hear about them anymore. These are people who used to make impacts. You will hear their name, they go into oblivion, or they basically start existing. They're not living, they're not maximizing their essence anymore. What do you think is the cause of this? How can people mitigate this when they move?
So I think that when you are trying to succeed and you make a move to relocate to another country, for example, that is going to happen to you. That's going to happen to you because essentially you are driven by economics. In other words, you are driven by welfare because the goal of economics is welfare, right? So you want to take care of yourself. You want to be safe. That's what you are doing. What that means is that you are not dreaming. You are not dreaming. When you see somebody, let's say he's a musician or he's a comedian, he's a very successful comedian, known before he left Nigeria, popular, respected. Then he goes to London or he goes to America, and then he picks up a job somewhere, and then he fades, and then he's just another ordinary guy. And then you wonder, you see, what really burdens you is that how does he live with the nothingness of an ordinary life?
Exactly.
How are you able to endure yourself in that state of ordinariness compared to the high state of exceptionalism that you had experienced? How were you able to tolerate yourself in that state? How did you begin to babysit yourself in that new state of commonness and ordinariness? I'll tell you why. The reason is because the exceptionalism you experienced, even in Lagos, was hustle. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a dream. So it was just hustle. So when you got into another country, another source of income could take care of that hustle. You see, it was hustle in Lagos. For that hustle, you were making 2 million naira every month, and you feel cool. 10 million naira every month. You go to another country, you don't need to do all of that. You picked up a job that is paying you twice that. That was the goal from the beginning. So you just have to play through and settle because it was hustling. And once you are a hustler, any means of income can take care of your character. Any means of income. If you are hustling as a musician, the day you found the same money you are making as a musician from cooking, you will start cooking and forget about music. The day you start making that same money or more from, say, washing cars, you are going to begin to wash cars because it has taken care of your hustle. The goal of your hustle is to find a size of income in your bank account. It doesn't matter what brings that income. But if you are a dreamer, you see, you cannot settle. I always tell people, you can't do anything without imagination. You can't even, why people read and they cannot understand? Because they cannot see what they are reading. Once you cannot see, because we think in pictures, if you cannot see what you are reading, you cannot understand it. If you cannot, you know how Habakkuk said that I will see what he will say to me.
Yeah.
Habakkuk 2:3. I will see what he will say. You are supposed to see words in pictures. And when you are reading, whether you are in class studying mathematics or physics, or you are reading a novel, whatever you are reading, or a self-help book, if you cannot imagine what you are reading, you cannot comprehend it, right? If I tell you now, Isaac, I think you should get up from your chair and look to your right. You see, you've not started. You're already seeing it. You are imagining what I said you should do. And then you can tell me, oh, I can't do that because I'm on a live. Because you have imagined the action. And you are seeing that it's going to contradict what you are doing right now on a live, right? The reason for argument, war, conflict, misunderstanding, all of that is because of a clash of imagination. What we see with the same stimulus is different, right? In the same way, when you are dreaming, you are being fueled by imagination. And imagination is not what you do, it's a visitation. Yeah. Imagination visits you, and you have a choice to host that thought or to ignore it, right? So once you start imagining, you're not aligning with your imagination. Even if you find yourself in Mars, you are not going to settle. You are going to continue. Look at somebody like me. I moved to the United States, but I'm even louder in Nigeria now than I was when I was in Nigeria. I am more active in Nigeria now than I was because I did not relocate. It wasn't relocation for me, it was penetration. They are two different things. So most people relocate. I didn't relocate. I was penetrating the world. The same way Microsoft penetrated the world. The same way Toyota penetrated the world. My manager in my bank asked me a question in America. He said, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing in the United States? I said, exactly what Microsoft is doing in Nigeria. That's what I'm doing. I'm here to multiply my value. I'm here to increase my dominance. I am here to spread the flavor of my difference. It's not just here. I'm doing it in London. I'm doing it in Africa, in Zambia, in Lusaka. So I'm doing exactly what Coca-Cola has done in the world. That's what I'm doing. Movement will require that you domicile your ideas in different geographies. At times, your ideas will need your body to go with it. At times, your idea will need your body to visit the idea around the world. At times, your idea will not even require that your body moves, only your idea moves. But the first movement is your idea. The character of the idea will require whether your body will come with it, or your body will be coming to visit it, or your body will not even visit it at all. But the movement of ideas is the movement of meaning and purpose. And that's how we navigate.
Wow. Man, that's profound, guys. Again, please, I am pleading on this call. Go and register for PK Alone if you're in London. If you're not in London, travel. This event is what you're traveling there to, because it's not going to happen anytime soon this year again. PKalone.com. That's where you get your ticket, reserve your seats, call your friends, call your family, call your co-founders, call your builders. I'm going to be going there with friends, right? Because see, the difference between you today and you tomorrow is in what you know and what you do. And if you don't know these things, these codes,
correct,
it's just not a story, right? So PK, you just expatiated on a problem, which is people travel and they go into oblivion. I've seen that in a lot of cases. In fact, people these guys are doing incredibly well in Nigeria, and then they travel. Of course, they are not poor, they are fine, they are living well with their family, but that's all you know about them afterward, right? So what I want you to speak to now is, you have been in that situation, but we can see that is the exact opposite that happened for you. You became even more influential. I know that before you even traveled, we could literally count your footprint online. Right now, you're literally everywhere. Now,
correct.
So how? So there are thousands of people who are in that shoe right now. Thousands of them are in, those shoes. They want to do exactly. They want to replicate this system. They want to replicate this possibility. They have traveled. They are struggling. They are earning, but they know that there's more to them. What can they do? How can they position to not only stay relevant, but to increase their relevance irrespective of the country they have, so that
Correct.
they can begin to penetrate as opposed to just relocate.
Correct. So the first thing is to know who you are. You have to be clear about who you are. And if you can't figure that out by yourself, you need to connect with voices who understand that. But you have to know your weight. When I say who you are, I'm not talking about your name or your purpose or your... See, those things are important. Honestly, I'm not even talking about your purpose. I'm talking about your weight. Your weight as a person, right? How powerful are you? Or I can rephrase to say, how powerful do you want to be? That's what I call free dreaming. I mean, take a journey into your own future. Who do you want to be? Who do you see yourself being? You have to be clear about that, because that will determine the protocol of your manifestation, right? But no matter what you are trying to be, some basic protocols are constant. One of them is your message to the world. We have to define your message to the world. Then the platforms that will carry your message to the world. The message to the world.
Platforms? Oh no. I hope we didn't lose PK. Your message to the world, the platform that will carry your message. And okay. Hi, PK.
Can you hear me, Isaac?
You're back now. Can you hear me?
Am I back now?
You're back now. Okay. So you were talking about your message to the world, the platforms that will carry your message. That's where we lost your mental favorite here.
The platform that will carry your message to the world. Can you hear me?
Clearly, I can hear you. Yeah. PK, I can hear you now. If you can hear me, I can hear you. I can hear you.
The weather is kind of raining here. This is Lagos. We get disrupted with rain. I'm so sorry.
I can hear you now, though.
I don't know why nature will interrupt. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you, PK, if you can hear me.
So, great. So, I was saying that your message, your platform. Now, when I say your platforms, we must understand that it's not just about doing, because you can wink in the dark. You can be doing so much and nobody is seeing you because of the way you are positioned. So I always tell people, when I say your platforms, I'm asking 5 questions. Who is holding your value? Who? First of all, where is your value? Who is holding this value? When I say who, I don't mean one person. I mean the demographic. Are they young people? Are they 18-year-olds? Do they speak different languages? Are they in Asia? Who is holding this value? How do you reach them? How do you reach these people? If you reach them, what do you say to them? What do you say? What are you saying? What are you promising these people? What is resonating with these people? If you know what to say, how do you say it? That's where your product's coming. Do you need a podcast? Do you need a song? Do you need a conference? What do you need? It may not even be about knowledge. I was telling somebody today, if you sell services, that you give out to people that transcend the limits of the service you are offering. You must be. And that element must be something that resonates with the geography of your expression. I'll tell you what I mean. A church came to me and said I should advise them. They want to set up a social responsibility in their community in the United States.
CSR,
and I should come and help them. I said, what do you guys want to do? They say, oh, we want to begin to serve food. Want to start a food bank. I told them, really? You want to set up a food bank in this city that I know very well? I said, how do you come to the conclusion that you need a food bank here? We just want to help the poor. I said, have you checked the data to know the number of poor people you have in this city? This is a middle class city. You don't have poor people here. There's no low income housing in this city. So if you go set up a food bank, you are winking in the dark.
Yeah.
People will drive 2 hours to your food bank to come and collect money, food, and go back to their 2 hours you're not going to reap anything in this city.
Yeah.
You just don't decide to care. It's called unguarded manifestations. You don't decide to care. You will go to the city council office. Go to the city council office. Say, this is who we are. We want to help. What are your pain points as a city? What are your pain points?
Yeah.
The city will tell you, oh, our pain point is youth restlessness. Or they will tell you, our pain point is mathematics. Our young people don't learn mathematics. Then maybe you need to set up a non-profit after school that is teaching people to learn mathematics, and you are recruiting teachers to come and volunteer, math teachers to teach young people. Now, when their children begin to pass mathematics, you are connecting directly to the homes. They will come out to see what you are doing because you are the game changer right there. You just don't go into a city and show care. No, you have to know the care that is available to minister to in the city, connect to the pain points. These are the type of languages we have to speak today. I'm just saying to people, you just don't, there are products you cannot sell in New York, in Silicon Valley. So you got to be clear what you are about. Then you need to go beyond that to say, how many hearts, how many heads do you want to live in the world? For me, it's 80 million. I'm called to live in the head and hearts of 80 million people. I will do that in this world before I leave. 80 million people. So you may be 5 million, maybe 100 million. For Burna Boy, it's billions of people, right? For Michael Jackson, it was. Forget about what they want to do with it. But you have to be able to say, am I supposed to swim in a pond? Am I called to swim in a river? Because if you want to catch dolphins, if you fish in a river for 200 years, you will never find one dolphin there. Dolphins are in the ocean. So,
wow, that's profound. I think we lost PK again. Network. Okay.
Can you see me? Can you see me, Isaac?
I can see you now. I can hear you now.
Great. So I was saying, if you want to catch a shark,
exactly,
you don't fish in a river. You don't fish in a pond. If you want to catch a shark, you have to go to the sea. You have to go to the ocean. So who are you? Who are you? What do you want to do here? And once you start thinking at this level, then your strategy then comes in. Then your positioning then comes in. Right? It's clarity before strategy. I always tell people, definition before strategy. Strategy only works with clear definition. So define who you are in the world, what power you are born to wield, what power you are born to deploy. Think about that and function that type, right? Because whether you like it or not, you cannot represent everybody and you are not called to everybody. But you got to define the level of power you are designed to have in this world. I'm going to spend countless. I'm going to spend multi-millions and billions of dollars in the world. And it's not because I want to spend it, but my assignment requires it. Mind you, I didn't say I'm going to have billions and billions of dollars. I said I'm going to spend billions and billions of dollars because it's not about me. I understand my assignment. And when you start thinking about assignment, you zone into what I call APP, assignment protective power. Then AEP, assignment expanding power. So then AAP, assignment attractive power. So once you understand the common denominator here is assignment. Once you are clear about the assignment, your protection comes to you. Your expansion comes to you. The things you attract comes to you. You can't be, it's your assignment that is the game changer. It's the critical success factor.
Wow. Network again.
Isaac, are you there?
I am there, sir. I'm there. I can hear you.
Ashik, are you there?
I am there.
Are you there?
Assignments is a game changer. Yeah. PK, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Can
great.
You hear me?
Yeah, great. Yes, I can hear you now. You are speaking about assignments being the common denominator. It's gone again.
Oh.
Okay, guys, before we have PK back again, PK is having a special session in London. I cannot wait until October 31st personally, because I feel like I'm on a mission that is very critical to the kind of information, the kind of value that PK is sharing at such a time as this, and that's why I want to be there. Not because I like PK, but because I think that being in that gathering, being in that is very critical to. Yes, I'm here, PK. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, PK?
Yeah, you can hear me now.
I can hear you clearly now. Yes. Please go ahead.
Fantastic. So
we're speaking
I was talking about
assignments. Yeah.
Yes. I'm talking about APP, AEP, and AAP.
Absolutely.
Right? Assignment protected power. You can't be killed. You can't be destroyed. You can't be vanished. You cannot vanish. You are always relevant. Assignment expanding power. Value becomes expansive. You continue to grow. You'll be seen. The right eyes will find you. Value gravitate towards you. Your expansion become a currency beyond intentionality because of the assignment. Assignment, attractive power. Everything comes to you. Everything gravitates towards you. Everything sees you, right? Once you understand that your assignment is the critical definition, strategy becomes easy. Definition beyond strategy. Definition above strategy. I always tell people, get the definition right, and then the strategy will follow. And everything else will follow. You know how the Bible says first is kingdom and his righteousness, and all other things will be added? I always say, seek definition about your positioning first, and everything shall follow. Your assignment is the critical game changer in how you navigate with the world. There is nobody that can tell you, whether it's Elon Musk or look at Aliko Dangote, what could he have done to end the phone call of the president? What could he have done? But you see, once you are aligned, the phone calls will come. People you cannot see will see you. People you don't know will call you.
Yeah.
People, your post will come into the
Absolutely.
timeline of a power figure somewhere.
Absolutely.
Things begin to happen to you because your assignment is breathing and your assignment is at work. And once you take the time to define the assignment, which will continue to elevate as you grow, everything changes. Everything.
Wow. I think that's amazing. So the common denominator here is you've got to have your assignment clearly spelled out, because nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So finally, for those in London and across Europe, what exactly can they expect from the Galactic Capitalist Experience on October 31st?
Well, I'm going to say in the Bible, and I'm being modest when I say this, in the Bible says that the Spirit of God came upon Saul.
Yeah.
And he became another man. He didn't say he improved. They didn't say he became better. He literally became another human being. Another human being. And Galactic Capitalist is that compelling force that is coming upon everybody in the room. You literally will become another human being. I don't want to use the word shift. It's more than a shift. I don't want to say transform. You won't believe it, but it's more than a transformation. It is a becoming of a new being. And I'm going to ask you to take the risk, just in case you don't know more, and then go to pkalone.com, click day 2 and learn. But get into the room. If that becoming is not experienced, personally, I guarantee you your money back. I'll give you your money back. But go out of your way. We are not trying to make money. When you come, you will understand. We are spending your money to host you. We are not trying to make money. We are creating a room that is prophetically backed with so much honor and power. And coming into that room is a resonance between your destiny, your legacy, and where you are. That is why the becoming is the only experience you are taking away. That's the promise. It's the promise of becoming. That's what's going to happen there.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much, PK. The reason why, just to
and I need to say this, Isaac. I need to say this. Everybody that is coming into that room comes into my circle automatically. So it's not just an event you are experiencing. You are coming into a world. I am welcoming you into my universe. And I'm going to stay with you and walk with you until that compelling force that you are is experienced in the world. Right? That is what I am. That is who I am. And I use those words deliberately. And that is where I am. What, who, and where. So see you in the room.
Okay, guys, thank you so much, PK. This is beyond profound. This is, this is just a pre-event information, and my mind is already shifting. Thank you so much for the gifts that you have to our generation. Thank you so much for the increasing relevance that you carry. Thank you so much, because every meeting with you, every time with you is always packed with new revelation, new insights that are not just information, that are transformative. Guys, so sometime a few months ago, really, I paid a huge sum, to attend a session. And it was after that session, really, that I experienced some really super transformative changes in my business. And I'm saying that to say that when you invest in your development, you're not paying money. You're actually buying the future, essentially. And this particular session is not one of those that you find anywhere. It's a rare one that before you see another version of it, it will be a very long time. So go to pkalone.com now and get yourself a ticket. Get your friends in. If you've got partners, if you've got co-founders, let them come along with you, because again, you don't want to be the only person running with a different vision. You want to carry your guys along so that you guys are bonding together. You are taking the future together as much as possible. PK, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Isaac. I celebrate you. I honor you. Keep shining. Keep doing what you do. Look forward to seeing you in London.
Absolutely.
Look forward to seeing you in London.
Live and direct. Thank you so much. People are asking if they can join virtually, though. I don't know if do we have the team around?
We're trying to create a ticket for that. We've not done that, but we're trying to create a ticket for that. We'll probably do that. Yeah, we're working on it. Well, if you stay on the website and watch out,
okay.
We'll do something. We're trying to work out a streaming experience. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so guys, there you have it. PK Alone London, October 31st. Be in the room. I'm gonna be there. Loads of other guys are gonna be there. PK is a mentor to the 1%. When you hear that, it's not fallacy, it's the truth. He mentors the 1% across different spectrum, different industry, different sectors. Some of the loudest voices you hear right now in the music industry, in the business, they are mentored by this man, right? So if he is opening up his heart to share with you what is to come, right? If that access goes for £10,000, please get it. But this one is not even going for that. So please, we'll see you guys in the room and catch you there. PK, thank you so much. Let me not take more of your time.
Have a beautiful evening.
Have a blessed night. Cheers. Bye.
London, the galactic capitalist movement is coming to your city this October. Secure your spot now. Access exclusive content from Olakunle Soriyan's digital library. It's the full digital archive of Olakunle Soriyan. Over 25 years of his most potent teachings, decoded frameworks, faith-based teachings, and private sessions, all organized in one living archive. Inside Illuminate, you get audios, videos, devotionals, systems, frameworks, wisdom on faith, leadership, personal effectiveness, the future. Visit link to get started. Subscription starting from $10 per month.
Feedback from the future.